Producers, stop getting left on red. In this video, I'm talking about cold DMing for producers. Part of why I'm making this video is because I am tired of personally receiving the exact same DM 15 times a day for the last 7 years. People have no originality, they don't understand social cues, and I'm hoping that by the end of this video, you will have a better concept of how to respect other people's time, provide value in return, and hopefully get what you're looking for in the end, which is to collaborate, land more records, and ultimately build a network. So here's the first message that I have sent people in the past. What it signals is that you value their time and you're not a leech. It's a very easy yes for busy people. The bonus is that most people I have found underestimate their values, so they undercharge. That means that you have the opportunity to speak to somebody who's so much further ahead of you. And if you come very prepared, if targeted questions and a clear agenda of what you're trying to get out of it, you get to jump years ahead into the future, pick somebody's brain, and then come back with knowledge and experience gained. And here's how I've gotten the most out of people's time. Number one is I will write questions and present it to them. And then I'm gonna write down their answers, because a lot of people will get the opportunity to speak to somebody and then not write down anything that they said. Makes no sense. And there are so many AI note taker apps now too, where you can record the conversation assuming they're okay with it, and that will summarize the conversation as well. But I recommend you write things down and do an AI note taker. The next thing is ask them what they wish they knew 5 to 10 years ago when they started. This will save you a lot of time because they will have already worked through what made the most sense for their time and what didn't. And that could be the difference between you wasting a couple of years versus getting those years back. Number three is ask them what they're focused on going into the future and why. So keep in mind, not only can you learn what they wish they would have known 5, 10 years ago, but you can also look into the future and figure out what they're focusing on now and why. That allows you to shrink the ignorance gap in your immediate, but then also think bigger picture. Why are they focusing on this? Is this something I should be getting into or trying myself? And that saves you a lot of time. And if you haven't noticed already, time is the most valuable, non-renewable resource on this earth. Number four, ask them to critique your Instagram. They might give you insight into your Instagram you never thought of, or would have taken you, once again, a couple of years to figure out. And this will improve the amount of people that follow you back, the amount of people that respond back to you, and the amount of opportunities that you get because of those first two things. Not to mention, you'll probably get more followers in general and more engagement on your content. Once you've established that connection, there's a good chance you'll get the opportunity to send them something after anyways. Now, in my opinion, asking them to critique your music is a waste of time. But if you want to get together 2, 3 of your best ideas and play it for them for 15 seconds each, they'll tell you if they want to use it or not, or if they think it's good. But I don't think that's the highest leverage action, I'll be honest. And number 5, ask them who their favorite people to work with in the past have been and why. So this will give you immensely valuable information on who they enjoy working with and why. And oftentimes it has nothing to do with music and everything to do with they're positive, they're very communicative, they're XYZ instead of wow, oh, they're so talented. Usually when I deal with talented people, they are just assholes. These are 5 questions I have asked people. You can ask whatever the hell you want. I've just found these have gotten me some of the best results. A bonus question could be, how could I work with you in the future? What does that typically look like? And if they say, oh, it costs money, I don't know if that's the best use of your money. Maybe you do it one time and it turns into now you can send them stuff whenever you want. Or they say, yeah, dude, just send me stuff. Here's my email. I appreciate you respecting my time. And I thought you asked great questions. Let's keep working. I've had things like that happen in the past myself. The idea here is you respect time. You have targeted questions. You've really thought about what you want to ask. And then you understand what are you trying to get out of this conversation. And you make sure you're talking to a high profile individual who is going to allow you to gain years of experience or knowledge within a short period of time. That's message number 1. So it's respect, pay, prepare, be brief. Message 2, value first, ask later. I have offered to work for free or given something for free almost every single day of my music career. I do it to this day. This is a free video, right? I enjoy making this stuff. Most people fail in DMs because they're asking, not providing. And this approach comes across as self-serving and is unlikely to yield positive results. They're way more likely to respond to someone who offers something of value. So you might be thinking, well, what is something of value? Here are things I've personally done in the past. Everybody's different. Everybody has different skills. Number one is I've built a one-pager website or a Figma for somebody. Over time, having built many websites, I have picked up that skill. And through that, I realized most people don't know how to do that. Here and there, I have come to somebody and offered, hey, look, I noticed you don't have a website. I think you should. I'm happy to help you. Or even, hey, I noticed your website doesn't do X, Y, Z. Number two is I've given them my sound. So anytime I went to a studio session, I would always airdrop them all of my sounds. I would then go onto their computer and put it inside of their FL Studio so that way it's already set up. They don't need to do anything extra. And now they have a ton of my sounds on their laptop. And usually I'd get a text or a beat or something after of them being like, damn, I appreciate you. These sounds are crazy, yada, yada, yada. And because I was selling those sounds, they also saw it as a kind gesture because, you know, usually people pay me for this thing I'm giving you for free. So that's done really well, and it's even gotten me some surprise placements here and there. Number three, revenue fix, help them make more money. Because I've built a ton of websites, it's really easy for me to go on somebody else's website and say, hey, do this, this, and this, and you will see more money, or you will get more downloads, or here's what I would get rid of on your platform. And all of it comes through experience. That's why I say early on, in your early teens and early 20s, you need to be trying a bunch of different things and picking up skills. Learning skills in your late teens, early 20s is the best way to spend your time right now. Learn how to build websites, learn how to Photoshop, learn how to video edit, learn them all at a basic level. You don't need to be a professional or an expert on them, but as they would say, jack of all trades, master of none, but better than one. It all helps down the road, and you never know how you can be helpful to somebody else. Number four, rented a studio and invited them. Let's say I'm going to LA tomorrow. If I rent a nice studio and I DM a few people, make them aware, then there's a really good chance they're gonna show up, because in LA, in any music city, a studio is like a magnet. Everybody wants to work in a studio. Everybody's looking for a place to work out of every single day. So when you have a studio, it's much more likely people will be responsive, meet up with you in real life, and then from there you can further develop a relationship. The last one I've done is I make intros all the time. I probably do that 5 times a week. It's something that I enjoy to do. It has given me incredible opportunities, and people have, in return, also connected me to really great people. Even yesterday, a friend of mine, while I was taking a meeting at a publisher, was like, oh man, I see all your YouTube content lately. I should connect you to my friend who I watch on YouTube, which is crazy. So now I'm on text with him. We might work together, who knows? But the point is, make intros when you can and connect people. It goes a long way, and you would want people to do the same for you. You offer value first. You build trust over time. It strengthens the relationship, and then you can receive a favor at some point. And I don't think that you need to do things for people to go, cool, I expect a favor. It just so happens that when you are helpful and offer value to people, you build trust, strengthen relationships, and people feel inclined. They're like, damn, you helped me out. Let me see if I can help you out. And that's a great thing. Now, an example of a DM is, hey man, I noticed you don't have a website. I made this one pager for you. Let me know if you like it. If you want, I'm happy to build this website for you. I think all you need to do is cover the cost of the hosting and the domain. And most people will be like, damn, okay, say less. Or, hey man, I noticed that you don't do any email marketing on your platform. I used to do email marketing at a company. Here are some templates I created. I think you should use them. You need to think about, what skills do I have right now that I could reach out to people and offer my value? And then when to use this. When you can ship some value within 24 to 48 hours. Hope you guys like my drawings, by the way. Message number 3, room. Access beats status. So I have owned many studios in LA throughout my time. I've also had multiple different apartments and houses in LA, and I have offered my studio or my place to friends or people that I knew loosely many times. The cost of LA or any popular city for music is the main reason people aren't there more often. So alleviating that cost and allowing people to either stay at your place or at your studio free of charge or for a small amount opens a lot of doors. Think of it like this. Hotels and Airbnbs are expensive and people always need studios. It's a great way to stay involved in their day-to-day while in town. And then they invite their network to your studio. Now you meet more people. One, it absolutely is going to strengthen your relationships. Number two, it's going to expand your network because they're going to introduce you to people that they know and vice versa. And it turns into this giant networking event. Number three, you're going to have a ton of opportunities for collaboration, not just in music, but potentially in business ideas or partnering on something or dropping a kit together. You never know. Number four, extending the offer. If you enjoy working with them at the studio, you felt like they brought a lot of value, or even when they were at your place, you felt like you guys got a lot of work done, then you can always extend the offer and make it a recurring thing, or get a new roommate. Now you pay less money in rent. Now you both have the opportunity to be in LA for less money and make more things happen. So that to me is a big plus. I've done that personally many times. Now you pay less money on rent and you can focus more on music. And then five, the optimal timing. Here's an example of what you could say to somebody. Hey, I saw you're in LA on these dates. My studio or crib is in this area and open these dates. If you need it, just let me know. So it's important to let people know that you're offering a moment in time, not whenever they feel like it, because you want to make sure this is going to be fruitful for both of you. The reason I say that is because, unfortunately, some people will not respect your home or your studio. Their friends will not respect your place, and they'll bring a lot of chaos. That's why I say you need to give a window of time, test it out, see how it goes, and if it goes really great, continue it. If it's awful, then never do it with that person again. And unfortunately, not everybody is built the same. Manners are few and far between. I think that if you have a space, whether it's an apartment or a studio, preferably a studio, you can network on a different level. My phone's never been busier than when I had a studio. Unfortunately, that also meant that I had to be the bad guy every single day because I couldn't let everybody all the time come to my studio. So you're going to waste a lot of time in the initial phases figuring it out, but down the line, you will really figure out what makes the most sense, what you're trying to achieve by this. And being around a bunch of musicians all the time making music compounds if you're doing the right thing. For those of you who don't know, right now we have the #1 community on School for music producers. Most importantly, I have a bunch of courses explaining how to find a good lawyer, how to reach out, understanding the music business, how to negotiate, how to focus, what the hell is publishing, what are master royalties, resources for musicians. I also do a weekly live call where people ask questions. I record those conversations. I also record the interviews. And for those of you who don't know, I'm interviewing Nico Baran in a few days. You'll be able to ask questions in real time and get feedback from him. I'm sure you've seen him on your Instagram. He's going stupid, makes some of the craziest loops I've ever heard in my life. And he just launched a new YouTube series on YouTube, so go check it out. I have an Instagram group chat where I talk to 100+ members in the community every single day. So it's a great place to network, build relationships. And one of my favorite things in general is just seeing this map. That's my biggest goal with community: education, networking, and knowledge. Back to the video. Message number 4. So recommendations: be a plug, not a pest. What I mean by that is people will see that somebody has landed in LA and then they'll DM and go, man, like, how can we link up? How can we this? How can we that? Just overload them. Instead, what I will do is I will take my list of my favorite restaurants, best studios, cool locations, things that I like in LA, and I'll send it to them. If you think about it, you know the best and worst places in your city. And when people visit, they don't. So if you can save them time and improve their trip, you also have the opportunity to invite them somewhere. So if they're hungry, you could be like, oh man, I'm going here. This is my favorite spot. Do you want to pull up? It's like, cool. And now you just created an easy way to meet up. It's not in the studio. Everybody likes food. And from there, you can either go to the studio or you can go your separate ways. The point is, you're providing value and you're improving somebody's experience in LA, and that ultimately ties you to a positive experience. And so here are examples of 2 different DMs. Number 1 is, here's my list of the best spots while you're in town. Here's the link. Number 2, lunch dinner on me at my favorite spot. I have a table tomorrow. Want me to add you +2. Best food you have out here. I know these are very like cut and dry conversations. I wouldn't say this exactly, but more or less I'd say something like this. Sometimes they get back to me, sometimes they don't care, but sometimes they're really appreciative. And I even see them post on their story one of the places that I sent them. I like knowing that I was able to improve somebody's experience in LA, because I know how much time I wasted trying to figure out where are the studios, where should I be, what's the good food. Probably took me like 3 or 4 years because I was just so focused on trying to make something of myself. Now, number 5, this is a good one. What not to DM ever. This is why I made this video. I get so many of these DMs every single day, and I have for years. And me and everybody else is sick of it. And this is a post from Producer Spotlight the other day where Mike Hector, a friend of mine, said, you could post a pic of your grandma in the hospital and a producer would still swipe up and ask to send loops. And it's true. People don't have any social cues or understanding, and they're so thirsty and pathetic. Look at this, sending prayers in loops. Anyways, so the amount of times I've gotten a, yo gang, you hard as fuck, where can I send loops, is ridiculous. Scrolling Genius credits and DMing 100 producers saying, twin, send mail, you hard as fuck, I got 5 loops for you. That's not a method. You look like a goofball. I've gotten 10 of these a day for the last 7 years. I don't respond, and I'm sure other producers don't either. If you lack social skills or self-awareness, you will struggle. Networking in the music industry, like any industry, requires a degree of social intelligence. You need to be able to read social cues, understand unspoken rules, and communicate effectively. If you struggle with these skills, it's going to be difficult to build genuine relationships. Self-awareness is equally important. Understand the strengths and weaknesses and be honest with yourself about what you bring to the table. If you're not confident in your abilities, work on improving them before you start reaching out to other producers. So I think oftentimes people have no social cues or social awareness, and they might be reaching out too early. And you might be saying, oh, well, what's too early? In my experience, if you are a year or less in of making music, you don't need to be trying to send out a bunch of beats and loops. Maybe you're just built different and you're so talented and amazing, congratulations. But usually within that year, 2-year period, you're still trying to get good at making music. This is a relationship-based business. Music comes secondary. So while talent and skill are essential, relationships are the foundation of success in the music industry. People want to work with people they like, trust, and respect. Building strong relationships takes time and effort, and it requires genuine connection, mutual respect, and a willingness to give up as much as you take. Focus on building real relationships with other producers, even if there's no immediate benefit, because you never know what those relationships might lead to in the future. And a good example is Mike and I met in 2017, and we didn't have too much going on. Actually, he had just had the Kendrick Lamar record come out. I really had nothing going on. I was sleeping in my car at this point in time trying to figure it out. I never thought a year later we'd be roommates in LA. And then a year after that, we would be studio roommates. And then to this day, I talk to Mike all the time. He's just been a good friend of mine. And for those of you who don't know, Mike Hector is one of them ones. So go give him a follow, DM him, be like, yo, I just saw you in Haas video. Go DM what I just taught you. And then the next one is move with good intention and shift your focus to help other people. So instead of focusing solely on what you can get from other people, shift your focus to how you can help them. Offer your skills, knowledge, or resources. When you approach interactions with a genuine desire to help others, you will be blown away at how much more receptive people are to your messages and how much better your life is. Look, if you haven't already figured it out, helping other people is the most fulfilling thing you can do on this earth. There is no better feeling than being helpful to other people. If you haven't realized that yet, I want you to do it this week and see how you feel after. It's gonna be a life-changing experience. Now, I wanna talk about the loopers. These are the kinds of DMs that never work. I get them every single day. All I had to do for this video was go check my DM requests, and this is what I immediately saw. Yo, you tough, where can I send loops? Yo, bro, I listened to some of your works, got some melodies for you. I've never spoken to any of these people. This is my first DM with them, and this is what they have to say. Yo, gang, you hard as fuck. By the way, want to ask if you needed some labs back to your loops, you would get the 70%. First and foremost, a bunch of misspellings, and I don't even know what they're talking about, and this is just corny as hell. This is corny and it's not working. What's good, man? I make R&B trap soul loops and I think you'd vibe with some of my sounds. Do you have an email? Like, come on, man. So this is where most people are at, man. You just have zero awareness, zero social skills, and it's killing you. This is 4 messages that have gotten me responses in the past, and most importantly, built really great relationships with people that I consider great friends. This is the looper zone. Don't be here. Now, let's go over everything again really quick. You have message 1, respect. So you're paying somebody for their time to get a bunch of knowledge. It's very simple. You're gonna save a lot of time this way. Number 2, you're gonna create value first so that somewhere down the line, it'll be fair for you to ask for something. Number 3, this is niche, but if you have a great studio or a space, you can 100% offer it to people and that will give you a bunch of benefits. Number 4, recommendations. Be the reason somebody has a great time in the city. I'm sure they'll be much more likely to want to meet up or build a relationship with you, and that goes a really long way. Now, if you want all of my notes from this video, DM me on Instagram. I am beyond grateful for all of the love and support you guys have provided to me the last couple of weeks of posting. I will continue to post a new video every single Friday, 10 a.m. PST. No matter what, consider liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing if you enjoy the content. Take care.